So continuing on Dalaram base Tanan. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel Oimer. Afilu mehegemoni lehegemonia, which is like a state to a state, which you have people like different kings or warriors who are stopping people passing. So it's like with internal borders. So you have to say bifnei nechtav Amar Rabbi Yitzchak ir achas hayis Eretz Yisrael. So there was one city in Eretz Yisrael, and it was called Asisiutz, and they had two hagmonis. So it was like split into two, because they were makbidim ze al ze. Lefikach, you needed to say, so you have to say when you go from one part of this place in Eretz Yisrael to the other part, you have to say bifnei nechtav. The Rava Nichel, the Rava Kasha. So it's good for Rava because it's in Eretz Yisrael, but because there's no, the Adim can't go from A to B because they're stopping them. So therefore, you don't need to say. You do need to say it because there's no Adim and you have to do the Kiyum. So it's Nichel Rava. About Rabba, it's a Kasha. Rabba, why do you need to say there are two? They are both in Eretz Yisrael, so therefore, why do you need it? Because they're Baki Lishma. And then we have the Bechidish after 4 Dafim, Rabba Islay the Rava. So now we've fallen into that really Rabba agrees with Rabba, and all the Gemaras we've had up to this point, the Terutzim for Rabba aren't real Terutzim because he really agrees with Rabba. So again, it's not they're holding the same, it's that Rava only holds Kiyum, and Rabba holds Kiyum, and he holds Shalol Ishma. So Elamai Ikebanainu de Oisi Beitre, that two people bring it. Inami Ba'oisi Medina Medina Sayam. So we have two. So if two people bring it, so you don't have a problem for Kiyum, but you still have a problem for Lishma. Or if you say Moise Medina Sayam, you don't have a problem for Edim, and you still have a problem for Lishma. Tanan, Hamevi get Medina Sayam, so you take it from abroad. So they're not able to say it. Let's see, what does this mean? They're not able to say it. So now we're trying to get, we're kind of getting into Bidi Evid in the halacha, where basically if you bring, so here, if you bring the get from Dina Sayam, and here it says you're not able to say B'fnei Nechtav. Like, what if you didn't say B'fnei Nechtav and you go away? So, if there's Eidim Yekayim B'chumasav. So, basically the Shulchan Aruch will say, if the Eid comes and doesn't say B'fnei Nechtav, then, Mekayim the Shtar. Because again, obviously we're posking like Rava. The whole halach is like Rava, but here we have, so he didn't say it, or he's not able to say it. So seemingly that's like Rava, because why are you able, if you have a problem of Shalol Lishma, why are you able to say, why are you able to just Mekayim the Shtar? Who cares? It's a good Shtar. The Eidim signed, but they didn't see it Lishma, they didn't know that it was Lishma, so therefore why does it help? So now we go on like a side point and see like, V'hoinim ba'mai ve'enu yochol loimer, what's this idea that you're not able to say? Ilema charish bar suyi gitahu. How could it be a cherish? A cherish is he can't speak, and he can't. He's a deaf and he can't speak. So the hatanan hakol kasherim lehevi as a get choitz mi cherish shaita v'katan. So you can't be a shaliach for a get if you're a cherish shaita v'katan. So l'lav b'nei deya ninhu ve'en yachol le'asot shaliach legaresh. So if you say to Ein Katan Nasa Shliach V'hu Hadin Lahanach, so you have to be in the parsha in order to be a shliach. Now Taisus here has the point Ilem Choresh V'lo Boi Lemar could go on Elem or Shalo Ra'a Kasiva Segeft In Kem Have Le Lememar V'lo Amar. So Taisus here is saying that an Alem who is a mute, he can't speak, or he didn't see the Kasiva Seget. So that's, he also could say, he didn't say it. So when it says he couldn't say it, because he's not able to say it. He didn't see it, or he's an Alem. Now here the Ran says that Taka an Alem, he can't speak. He can Taka write down the Eidos. And that's why you can't say Alem here, because he could write down the Eidos. And here Taisus will be disagreeing. There's a whole sugya here. quite a big sugya in Gittin right here, but we're not doing it. V'amar Rav Yosef haka b'ma'askina kagon shenosna loka shehu b'keach. He gave him when he was a b'keach, so he could be a shliach. V'lo he didn't say it b'fnei nechtam ad shenitcharesh. So he gave the get while he was b'keach, but then he became a cheresh before he was able to say it. So that's that segment. Now we said before already, Rava Nichla Rava Kasha. So Rava is good because he's worried about the kiyum, and once we do a kiyum, we're good. And for Rava, the Shlo Lishma, how does kiyum the Adam help at all? Now again, here we have just another huge chiddush in the whole sugya. Haka b'mayaskinan la'acher shalomdu. So Rashi la'acher shalomdu is the boy lishma. So everybody learned, everybody learned to that you need lishma. So therefore, Rabbah is not choishish anymore for shalol lishma. Only in the Mishnah he's choishish for shalol lishma, but in the Bryce already he's not choishish for lishma for shalol lishma because they learned. So hachi, if it's true that you can just do a kiyum and you don't have to say it, yachol nami. So when he's able to say it, he also shouldn't have to say it. Why does he have to say it? If he doesn't have to say it, let's just do the kiyum of the chaytmav. But if he's able, then he also should just do a kiyum. So here's a gezerah shema yachzor davar lekalkoloi. So here that there's a gezerah that if you're able to say it, then you have to say it because maybe it will go back to where everyone. So even though they lomdu kavar lomdu, maybe they will forget it all. So yochul nami lo litruchu im efshar lekaimo be'edim lo yisrach loimer b'fnei nechtav b'fnei nechtam. Misham afagad delamnu lo okru rabbanan tekana sonu gezerah shema yachzor davar lekalkolo. So there's no ikr of the tekana. It'll be forgotten. Hilkach hashtanami tzarech hashliach. So if it goes back, so we're obviously expecting chutz la'aretz to go back to being Amarot, and even though they didn't learn. Now really the point of the tekana, it says like, one idea is to say, well, why did the Chachamim need a tekana? You have it by like Pesach as well. Why did the Chachamim have to make a tekana that you're not going to eat the chametz or clean up all the chametz because clean out your whole house? Like you're not going to eat chametz, and the reason you're not going to eat chametz is because the Chachamim were so machmir on all bits of chametz. Therefore, you're not going to eat chametz. Like it's a big thing. You have to clean your house out of it, even though dries you don't have to. So here the Chachamim made the tekana, and all the shlichim are saying b'fnei nechtam b'fnei nechtam. Therefore, people in the chutz la'aretz became a bookie that you need it because the first Mishnah in Gittin is about the tekana they made, so everyone knows about it. But why do they know about it? Because of the first Mishnah. And even you'll have the Yeshiva Shavelt might know this Mishnah. You need lishma. What does lishma mean? Don't know. But the tekana is there. In order that people will know, and now that people know. But if you take it away, the tekana, so then people won't know lishma, and then they won't say b'fnei nechtav because they won't know that you need to do it. Yihachi eno yachol nami. Why does it eno yachol? Why does he have to say? Why is it okay for the star in the chaytmav? Because it will be chayzer, it will go back, and we won't know, and then we have the whole problem. Bikeach v'nitrachash milted lo shchicha u'milted lo shicha lo gazerba. So again, we made the okim to what are we talking about? We're talking about eno yachol is a bikeach, and he became. So again, he was a bikeach when he gave it to her, and then within that minute he became an itzkarsha. It's milted lo shchiach. Milted lo shchiach le didn't give the gezerah, and therefore since mikra didn't, you don't need it. Therefore don't do it. Lo gazerba rabbanan. But an isha is not shchiach. A woman bringing her own get. Shetehahi atzma mavi et gita, but Torah shlichus. It's not that she was makabel the get when he gave it to her. She brings a shlichus. How can she have it a shlichus? Who's she giving it to? Shlotitzgaresh bo ad shetigia lebeis din ploni. So the guy gave her the get and said, "You're not megarish until you come to beis din ploni." So the woman is a miltat lo shchiach. So therefore, why does she have to say it? V'tanan ha'isha atzma mavi gita. But she still has to say b'fnei nechtam b'fnei nechtam. So here it says shelo tachaluk b'shlichus. So don't make a chiluk in the shlichus. So Tosfos here, perish b'milta b'shlichus to yachol. i.e. the shlichus that you're able to say, because obviously if you're not able to say, then you don't say it. So what kind of answer is this? We just said that you can't say it as lo shchiach. I said, well, woman also is also lo shchiach. Oh, well, we're not going to be lo. We don't make a chiluk in the shlichus. Yeah, we have a no yochel that doesn't need to say it, and that's lo shchiach. So therefore, the woman also shouldn't need to say it. And Tosis is saying no, she does need to say it like the yachol. That's where there is the lo tilachek shlichus, where you're able to say it. Therefore, since the woman's able to say it, and because the eno yachol is like an ev shor. If it's an ev shor, like what do you want him to do? Ihachi balnami. Balnami also should say it. Al matana hu atzmo shehevi gito ein sarech lam b'fnei nechtam. So the Baal himself who brings it, he doesn't need to say it. Tamamai amar rabbanan sarech lam b'fnei nechtam dilma ati bal ma'arer u posul le hashta mikrat neket le biyada va'or kama arer aleya. Question mark. So basically the Baal doesn't have to bring it, because the whole point of the Tukana is that maybe the Baal will come and ma'arer and he'll posul it. Hashta, he's holding it. Is he really going to be ma'arer leya? So that's the answer of the Gemara. Good. And this is all in Rabbah, right? This whole Gemara is in Rabbah, because we said Rava Nicha, right? So the Baal is also Nicha for Rava and Akasha and Rabbah. So Toises hihachi balnami le Rava Nicha dechi maisi le Baal leke le michash le ziyuf. So what's Rava worried about? He's worried about mezuyef. He's worried about that the star itself, that the get itself, it was made up. So if he gives it to a shaliach, maybe the Baal's going to come and say that it's mezayef. So therefore, stop him doing that. We're going to have a kiyum on the star now. So therefore, when the Baal comes, maybe he's bringing her a full star. This is a full star. Later, he's going to say, "Ha ha, I gave you a star mezuyef." So de'eno choshed lehakshila b'miskaven. So we had this before. This is a sheet of the Yerushalmi, that the guy's not going to, maybe the Baal will make a mistake, but to make her sin klape shemayim, he's not going to do, because all if he does, if he gives her a get nozuyef lechatchila, is that she's going to remarry and going to have mamzer and be over averas with and it's all klape shemayim, and he's not chosheh that he's going to lechatchila try to make her, even if he doesn't like her and he wants to cause trouble, he'll do the whole laz thing, but he's not going to do this. Ela lerabba, but Baal nami lichus shelo ye'arer demitchila lo haya yada. He didn't know that needed lishma. So how does him bringing the get make a help? So the whole answer is for Rabbah. So why is it good for Rabbah? Taka, he's going to come. He didn't know. He never knew. And he's going to come, and he's going to say, I had a bad get, and now I learned that it's Shelo Lishma. Now Tosha's answers, we have to understand this answer, Mishani. So since he's holding it, since the order there ena elo la'az, it's not a real. So again, here he's saying what he's going to say. I didn't know this was like a real error, and then he says only la'az. He's not going to have the error because he's holding it. Like, what type of answer is that? So there's a sugya on Beis Amud Beis, where basically Tosis is as we've seen, is Choshesh La'az. But Rashi is Choshesh for a posul Gomor in Rabbah. Now one of the diukim in Rabbah is L'Rava de lo chayish la'irure. So Rav is not worried about the Baal doing an error to name him Mezuyafu. So what does it mean? So what is Rashi worried for if Rav is not going to be worried for? We're not worried for error, so therefore, what's Rashi worried about? We're not worried about error, so what are we worried about? So he's saying that this is they bring it down as a choshesh didan versus the choshesh of the Baal. The chashash de dan is that we think that this get is shalol lishma. So here, so Rabbah, he's not chayish for the erure of the Baal. It's the beis din that are choishesh for that the get that was brought is taka posul. So that this is a chashash be'etzim. That you can, this is brought down, that you can, some people bring the dig from here, but you can say here that it's only Rabbah isn't choishesh for the era of Ziyuv, but he is choishesh for the era of the Baal. But again, to be clear, when the Baal comes, there's this stage before the Baal comes, and that's the beis din. What are we worried about? We're worried about the Baal coming, or we're about the get being posul. So here Rashi, the way that the Mefarshim are explaining Rashi here is that Rashi's not worried in Rabbah. He's not worried. The beis din isn't worried about the Baal coming and being ma'arer. They're worried about the get taka being posul. The get being a shalol lishma get. Now you can say again, you can just say no, that's only the Muvaziyah, but really the Baal. But also here in the last Rashi here, the ashkach kasov Amud, so that the Baal is going to find it. Could go on shenichnas shem aleph. So this is a get written shalol lishma. V'nimlach milagaresh. So he found that it's a rabbanon who needed it because maybe the guy is going to find this get shalol lishma and divorce with it. So Rashi here l'chayre is chayshish for the actual posul itself. And then in Tosfos, the fisha ain't booking lishma. So he's going to kasha to likaman. So what does it mean? So here's Rabbah. The fisha ain't booking lishma. Rav Taka says that's what we have. And Tosfos says, come on, Tanya, who atzma shehevi gito ein utzarich sheyama b'fnei nechtam. He doesn't need to say it. Ma'ishanahu mishlocho. So if the shaliach is not believed for a shalol lishma, so therefore why is he not believed for a shalol lishma? So Taka going according to Rashi, yeah. Taka, how does Rashi understand Daf Hey Amad Aleph? Because he doesn't need to say it, but we're choishish for Taka a posul get. So Tais is based on Daf Hey. So therefore, the shaliach and him, it's all the same. Because the shaliach will bring a posul get, and the Baal will bring a posul get, because they don't know. The time at Amar Lekaman that he's holding in his hand, Ihum Ara Leia. Lama lo Yarar. Taka, why won't he Yarar? In Mitchila, originally he didn't know that he needed Lishma, the Hashta Yada. So now he's asking, Taka, like, what's the hell's the pshat? In our Gemara, he didn't know, and now he does. Now here, up to the Akadei Kach, Pnei Yeshua, Gemara time in my the Ata Bala Ma'arer. V'yesh ledadech, heich matzi la'arer. Pnei Yeshua here is saying, how can the Baal be Ma'arer at all? Halachar shalom du ayri. We're talking about after that they've already learned. So everybody knows that it's lishma. V'havei lei ka'aretz Yisrael. So the whole world's like Eretz Yisrael. The lo mahani irer the habal le'inin shalol lishma. The Baal can't say it's shalol lishma. So what the hell are we worried about the Baal? Yeah, tamama we say bifnei nechtav, because the Baal's going to come in ma'ar. He can't do it because it's everyone is kavar learned it. So since there's no chashash of Shalol Shema, because everyone's learned it, so therefore when the Baal comes and says Shalol Shema, he's not believed. Elim Shem Gezerah Baalma, we said it's a Gezerah. That's why Rabbah needs it for the inin of Lishma. Shema Yakser Davar Lekokolo. Im Kain Lo Shayach Mi Ha'ir HaBaal. The Baal's error. What the hell? The Baal can't be Ma'ar here, and he leaves it as a Sarachin. And that's a Sarachin on the Gemara. What the hell is the Gemara talking about? We're after Shalom Du. We're only worried about the Baal being Ma'ar. Now again, it's not so bad because it's only on Rabbah. We don't post him like Rabbah. Keeps on flipping, whatever. He lives as a Tzarachian. So back in the this is kind of how Tosfos is he's not bringing in this idea of kafar of we've already learnt. Here he's saying that originally he didn't know, and now he does. So he's kind of going the opposite of Pnei Yeshua is saying, yeah, taka, it's a really good error. Pnei Yeshua is saying it can't be a good error once you hit Hey Amad Aleph. So Ramari de Maskina besomoch the Roy Bekin hen. So Roy Bekin hen. Vestam Sifri Gemiri. So here, so this is Tosis saying La'azba Alma. Rashi saying that it's taka we're worried about we're worried about the get being posul mamash. The Tosis saying that again, this is the famous Tosis Shita, La'azba Alma. He's not actually coming to be ma'ara the get. So this kind of I don't know if you can answer this for the Pnei Yeshua. He's not coming to add to posul the get. He's just coming to say to the wifey, yeah, you got married. He's just trying to cause the trouble, but Lamaisa it's not good. But seemingly that the Pnei Yeshua is saying that he's not makabel b'chal. No one's going to believe him. It's just nonsense. It's not even la'az. The mistama shelo kedin ya'arer. Right, mistama v'haka shmeviu habal ba'atzmo lik lemicha shafilu la'az. So he's saying, so when the shliach comes, we're worried about that the Baal coming and making la'az and saying that the get just to cause trouble. He's going to come and say, I never gave the shliach the get, or whatever he's going to say. So he's going to come and cause trouble, or it's not a good get. But here, so the Baal knows. So this is holding the Baal knows that he's not going. It's not actually a posul get. He's only coming to cause trouble. But since he sent a shliach, then he can come and cause trouble. But now that he's bringing it, even as the sulo ma'arer that he's holding it in his hand. So since he's holding it in his hand, so now that he's going to come and say what I just said, yesterday is that was a little. I'm saying here's a get. Now I'm saying it's not a get, and he's not saying that be'emes. Right? He's only saying that as la'az because we're never choishish be'emes in Rabbah. We're only choishish for la'az in Rabbah. And since he brought himself, he's not going to come and do what I did and based in was rubbish. Because if the shliach comes and says it, or gives her the get, then he's maybe he'll come and cause the trouble. But something that he does by himself, he's not going to come and cause trouble. So that's the Taisus explaining the idea here that it's the Baal that since Ati Baal Ma'arer upasul hashtamik. Since he's holding it, and then we have to say posul has to be laz. Obviously, this posul kind of goes better for Rashi, but posul will mean he'll try to say it's posul, but we won't accept it. But the laz kamahashta. Since he's holding it, is he going to say what I'm doing right now? Like in the future, he'll say what I'm doing right now is a load of rubbish. So he's not going to say this. So that's for Taisus. But for Rashi, we're still stuck because what the hell's going on here? This is clear, and you can see it from the Pnei Yeshua. You see it from the Tosfos, and you see it from the Gemara that this error is only a la'az. It's not a real error. Again, kavar lamdu, we already know about it. The error car, since he's holding it. Is he going to be ma'arer? Yeah, why not? As Tosfos said in his question, why not? According to Rashi, it's a proper posul. But here the Gemara holds it's not a proper posul because they know that when the Baal brings the get, he's not going to come a ma'arer because there was never a chashash of the Gemara that it was actually a real posul. It was only a la'az ba'ama, as Tosfos explained the Gemara. So what the hell do we do with Rashi? Chasm Sopher. Now I guess back in base, I'm a base. That's why it's a bit of a difficult sugi because a lot of stuff's going over there and answering there, and like where is the real sugi for this? Is it based on the base or hey? If she'ain edim in lekaimo l'chayra mashma de Rabba lachashash mishum ziyuf ela chashash de lishma. So Rabba doesn't care about ziyuf. Again, this is on base on al elim alei le Rabba ubezeh yishuv hagoyin chachasid. What's it? Marenu, Harav, Nasan, Eliezer, Adler, Nasan, Adler, Katz, Zeicher, Tzarek, Levrocha. So here he is. There's Nasan Adler rocking the free world. This is your Godel, Rabbi Nasan Marcus Adler. He's the Chasam Sofer's Rebbe. Ma shemakshim a perish Rashi, the mashma that he holds the chashash to lishma, sheme ashkach sheshemo kishmo v'hu chashash gemura, lo la'az ba'alma. So again, this is the bottom Rashi on that daf. So it's that's a chashash gemara. It's not la'az ba'alma like Tosfos. Ve'ilu lekeman amrin behediya, taima mai dil ma'ati ba'ala ma'arer. So he's just doing an error. Mashma taima derabba misham error ba'alma. It's only an error. Right, so the question, ha nizker la'ayel yesh loimer ha saika daichet. There's a hava mina of Rava lisle de Rava. In Rashi on base Amud base, which we are now, is in a hava mina where Rava's on his own and Rabba's on his own. Am kain mishum de Rabba lo chashash le'az dezayef mishum she'ena ela irer. So it has to be. So why, when Rava and Rabba are disagreeing with each other, it must be because Rabba he's not choishes for the la'az of ziyuf. Because we're not actually worried about, because the whole point of kiyum shtaros, we don't actually choishes that it's a posul shtar, and all the stars have a kashrus. It's just that it's a la'az of ziyuf. Mishum de'ena ela irer. So why does he not agree to Rava? He doesn't agree to Rava because the ziyuf of Rava is only an error, and if it's only an error, so he doesn't care about that. Mishum hachi kamar mishum lishma chashash gemura. So therefore, it's not just the ziyuf that's his issue; it's the lishma. So Rava is holding that it's only an error, and therefore Rabba has to. Why does he not agree with him? Because he holds we're talking about proper chashashes of a posul. Aval maskana de Rabba isle de Rava. Name it the chashash de lishma nami le Rabba. So therefore now he agrees to them. Now he can also have a chashash, and not just a lishma mamash, but a chashash le lishma. Mishumir de Baal who kamo chashash ziyuf le Rava. So now they fold in the maskana, and therefore in the Gemara this irid kamarile, this will go on like Rashi, because Rashi was describing Rabba according to the Havamina that he was holding that it was the chashash gamor. But now, once Rava is moided to Rabba, so now they collapse in, and they're both only worried about a chashash. Now, Sof, there's a bit of machlokes of what's going on here. There are two kind of stages here. One is when the get comes, the Beis Din are worried about that the Baal is going to be ma'arer. Is very different to the Baal actually coming and ma'arer. So once you say b'fnei nechtav b'fnei nechtam, so we get rid of the chashash. But like, what happens if lemaisa, if the Baal does come and Taka says it? So seemingly, if he says b'fnei nechtav b'fnei nechtam, then he's not believed. But if he's not, and then he comes, it's a different. Like, are we worried then about a posul legamri? But at this point at which somebody comes to Beis Din with a star, any get will have a cheskes kashrus on the get. This has a cheskes kashrus on the get, so therefore we're not worried that it's actually posul. So we're only worried about an error of the Baal, but it could be when the Baal, it's a machlokas, then if the Baal actually is ma'arer, are we actually worried about a posul or not, if he actually comes to Beis Din and do it? But before he comes, the Beis Din are only worried about an error. So Tashema, the boy minei Shmuel mirav huna. Shnayim shehaviyu get min medina sayam. So now we have two people who are bringing the get from abroad. Tzrichen ishiomru b'fnei nechtav u b'fnei nechtam. Oh, eino tzrichen. So do this. So two people coming from abroad with the get. Do they need to say it or not? So again, this is the case of asuyi beitrei that Rava and Rabba are arguing on. Amar le ein tzrichen. You don't need it. So that goes like Rava and not like Rabba. Uma ilo yamru b'fnenu girsha milo mehemne. So what if they had said before she was nizgaresh, would they not be believed? So that's Rava Nichel, Rava Kasha. Now, what does it mean? Ma ilu yomru b'fnei girsha milo mehemne. What exactly is the workings of the believability here? Now, here Rashi, Shnaim Shavu, Shnaim Nasu Shluchim. So two of them were made Shlichim. Because it could just be one brings it one was made the shaliach, and when the other guy comes with him and comes to Beis Din or whatever, they both made a shliach. Ma ilur yomru kloimer. So Rashi here has a kloimer here, which means it's not what it's saying. So ma ilu amru im rotzu hen oimrim anu ma'edim shegarsha v'natan la get or l'shlicha get. So if they wanted to say, we are giving Edus that she is megarish, and we gave her a get. So how's Rashi learning this Gemara here? No, it's amigu. So that they have amigu, right? So we seem to have this migu, but the question is, why do Adam need amigu? Two Adam could just they're really believe us what we're saying now because we could have had a winning taina, but just believe them because they're Adam. What the hell do we need amigu for? So there's a machlokes on how to learn this sugya. Most people say that Rashi's learn. Rashi doesn't use the word migu. But the most before we explain the Rashi's learn amigu here, but other people learn otherwise. But on the migu, why all of a sudden here do two Adam need amigu? It's very bizarre. Two Adam come and say, "Believe me, because I have amigu." No, I believe you because you're Adam. The migu isn't stronger than Adam. Two Adam is the highest ne'amonos, so or the highest raya. So why are Adam coming to bring a here in the Beit Shmuel? He's going on the Shulchan Aruch here and basically saying, so that the Baal can come and say that you're not my shlichim. So the Adam need a migu because if they say they can say that you're not my shliach, so they need a believability that they're a shliach because they're just two people coming to Adam and they're just saying someone else's wife is married, so therefore the migu helps specifically in this case because the Baal could come and say that you're not my shliach. Now this kind of opens up a bit of a can of worms. That then how do we believe it if a guy comes and says I'm a shliach? So we believe them, no? So why all of a sudden now do we not believe them? And then the migus. So what one aid comes and says b'fein nichtav, maybe you're not a shliach. So this will come up a little bit in the. We're going to do a Piskei Teshuvah. But anyway, you can keep that in mind. But this is a bit of an akuda here in the sugya. Rashi seems to say imrotzu that because again, if they had said but imrotzu, then the imrotzu is a migu. And also you have the problem. Don't know if you remember, we said that migu lebeitrei lo amrinen. You never heard those words before? Where basically the idea is that when one person says something, you can give him he could have said he says A, he could have said B. But you can't have two people. How do they know they're both going to say, the same time? So migu beitrei lo amrinen, and here we have migu to beitrei that for the two Adam they get a migu. See here, I think the Chassan Sofer says that they said, since they said what they said outside of Beis Din, we only don't give them amigu in Beis Din because we don't know what they're going to say under oath, kind of thing in Beis Din. But when they're outside of Beis Din, they can come up with whatever tana they want. But again, that's a sugi here, but we've touched the edges. So if it's a kasha on Rabbah, why are the beitrei? So they don't need to say it. What about Shalol Lishma? Kasha, so the Rabba Kasha, Hachi b'ma'iskin and la'achar shalom do. The same teretz. Ihachi chad nami, because Yerushem yachzor davar lekakalo. Ihachi beitrei nami, beitrei de maisi gite milta de loshchiach. Loshchiach lo gazru ba rabbanon. V'ha'isha de loshchiach, v'tan isha atzma, she brings the get, v'lat shehi atzma tzricha loimer b'fnei nachtav b'fnei nachtam. Shlote chalok b'shlichus, so that we don't have the division in the shlichus. In the shlichus, ihachi bal nami, amatanu hu asma shevi gito enu tzarech lomer b'fnei nachtam, tam amai amar rabbanon tzarech lomer b'fnei nachtam, dem ati bal ma'aru posul lei hashtem mikadad v'yade v'iru kamra arer aleya. That's the case of the Baal, which we had about, so kind of a repetition. Now, Tosfos brings up here, betray the mighty Gittin, because the Gemara had said before, my benayu betray, lefize leke benehu, La'achar shalamdu. Dasui beitrei. So achar shalamdu, we don't have this. So we had, first it said that Rava is moided to Rabba, and then we redid the my benaihu. Now Tosis is asking, why don't we redo the my benaihu after achar shalamdu? Because the asuyu beitrei is not between them anymore. Valika benaihu mukayim. So as he said that this is going to take the place of that, and that's why we don't ask the whole thing, because it's still going to be 2. But we didn't have things to take the place of the other thing. I think we had 3 to start off with. We didn't have things to take the place, and therefore we didn't continue.